Hi everyone and welcome to War Thunder Tutorials. Today we're going to talk about tank gadgets, basically about anything what tanks can do besides moving and firing its cannon. In this episode, everything you need to know about tank extra functions and how to use them. Let's start with machine guns. Well, what are you supposed to use a tank's machine gun for? In real life, you use it against infantry and aircraft. Since there's no infantry in the game, then you probably think in aircraft and that's it, right? But no, in practice, the humble machine gun has many tactical applications. Obviously, you won't be able to hurt any tank's armor, especially if that tank is from the same tier as you. But you can always use the MG as makeshift smokescreen, by shooting the ground just in front of your target. This is especially effective in simulator battles, where such a trick can completely blind your opponent and literally save your life. Next trick is to shoot at the enemy's armor, while you're reloading your gun and maneuvering around the enemy. An experienced player is unlikely to be hindered by this, but novice players often get nervous from constant incoming fire and make mistakes as a result. The machine guns, especially high-caliber ones, can be used to clear a path through woods, parks, bushes, and old rural buildings. The more powerful the gun, the bigger the obstacles it can destroy. For example, a 7.7 machine gun can cut nothing more than a bush, while a powerful 12mm MG can chop down trees and some other obstacles. Which is especially handy during some arcade battle in Poland, where numerous walls and fences often hinder your magical green crosshairs, whereas a burst from your MG will clear a line of fire and provide a better angle on the enemy. Despite the fact that machine gun is unable to penetrate tank armor, its power is more than enough to kill the crew of open-top vehicles such as AAAs or SPGs. Your cannon's shell is likely to destroy these lightly armored vehicles in one shot, but if you're driving something big and slow like IS-2 that takes up to 30 to 40 seconds to reload, your machine gun is evidently a better choice. Another obvious use for a machine gun is protecting your tank from incoming aircraft. This is especially true if one of your machine guns is mounted on top of the turret, so that your tank commander can punish a diving plane coming in for an easy kill. It's hard to recommend anything of value in this situation apart from aiming with your mouse and pressing spacebar to fire. Next extra function is a towing cable. This tool is best used to put your overturned allies back on tracks or wheels. You can also use it to tow tanks that are stuck on something or if someone else fell down a ditch. If you ever need someone to tow you, just press 0. When someone notices that you need help, he should aim his cursor at you and then press 0 as well. That's it. Now you can tow the vehicle. Finally, there's a tactical use for tow cable that is often forgotten amidst the battle. You can drag your stricken ally from the enemy fire and give him a chance to repair and return to battle. Please note that you cannot accelerate any tank beyond its maximum speed using a tow cable. Well, if we're talking about saving your allies, we might as well mention the combined repair. If you want to help someone fix their vehicle, you must be in a squad with that player. Once he initiated repairs, you will see a notification prompting you to help. You need to press the repair key, as if you were fixing your own tank, which will seriously cut down on your allies' repair time. What's next? Binoculars. This is a good alternative for your regular sight. Basically, this is an additional sniper camera that is slightly elevated above your vehicle. You can use it to survey the terrain and aim your gun by holding left mouse button and looking at the point which you want your gun pointed. This is especially handy for SPGs, which otherwise need to rotate their entire hull to observe the battlefield around them. You can also use the binoculars to look over small hills and other such obstacles. Artillery. The ability to call in artillery strikes is a long-standing feature of the game, but its application and way of calling down a strike varied from patch to patch. Today's artillery is available only to light and medium tanks and also AAAs. You can call in artillery with 5 key, which opens up a map where you must select a position for a fire mission. If you will press the middle mouse key, you can adjust the fire to a more precise location on the map, but this is effective only when the enemy is really close. Many call in artillery as soon as they get a chance. This is logical. There's no sense in saving the shells, while some random shot might actually hit or even destroy someone. But there are better ways to use the artillery. Remember that the closer you are to your desired target, the more accurate the fire mission will be. One of the best ways to use the artillery is to disable enemies' tracks and, while being as close as possible, call down artillery on the helpless enemy and then flee. This is a solid tactical move for AAAs and light tanks when going up against heavier opponents that would otherwise be completely invulnerable. If your opponent is mobile, it would be silly to fire at him at his current position. You should either fire with a lead, trying to anticipate where the shells can intercept him, or you can try and fire several artillery barrages around him. Better yet, concentrate your artillery on the likely venues of attack used by your enemy and enemy capture points. This way, you have the biggest chance of hitting someone rushing to the battle or hurting an enemy lying in ambush at a capture point. Also, in the simulator mode, the artillery can be useful the same way as the machine gun, as a makeshift smokescreen. For example, a squad of medium tanks can create a rather long smokescreen and then exploit it to proceed forward. Finally, we have aviation mini-events for arcade mode. If you want to fly a plane there, you need to destroy the tanks and build up your points. Take out 2 or 3 tanks and you can use a ground pounder or a bomber. If you manage to down just one, you can take a fighter and use it to cover your allies. This brings up a reasonable question. What is more effective? Is it better to ditch a tank and take it to the skies or concentrate on a regular tank battle instead? In our opinion, go for the sky. An experienced pilot can destroy 3 to 4 enemy tanks while getting extra experience to upgrade his tank research tree. If you manage to down a couple of planes, then this experience might in fact surpass all the other experience points earned throughout the rest of the battle. Just remember, don't fall prey to rookie mistakes. Do not ever ram a first enemy you see. The bombs won't go off like this because they need an activated detonator, which can only be turned on by dropping the bombs with the spacebar. The damage from a ram is not that serious anyway, so do not rely on it alone, without first dropping your bombs at least. Take a good look at the map, plan one good approach vector so that your bomb sight sees the maximum possible number of enemy tanks on the ground. What should you pick? A ground attacker costs 2 points or a bomber costing 3. That depends on the situation, really. The attacker has rockets and bombs, but both of these weapons are relatively light. Given how you can pick your targets from the air and destroy them with great accuracy, we suggest going for the bomber instead. The final question is, should you take a fighter and attack or defend with it? This is where the icons below the mini-event will come in handy. If you see that an allied bomber is about to be countered by 1 or 2 enemy fighters, then you should defend him by all means. If you see that your enemy is about to bomb you and there's no one on your team to stop him, then you should be the person to do it. Otherwise, this could be fatal for the entire team. Do not let go of your tank when you know that the skies are in your team's hands already. Oh, and yes, do not ever fire or ram at the ground targets with a fighter. A tank is much better suited for this task. That's it for today. See you around.